Your grocery store bill could be going up again. The CEO of Loblaw says tariffs are about to affect even more products on that company's shelves. The number of tariffed products at Loblaw-owned stores is about to shoot up from 1,000 to 3,000 products. Most vegetables and fruits are exempt from Canada's counter tariffs, but many dry goods and processed foods from the U.S. will be subject to 25% charges. All right, for more on this, let's bring in Gordon Dean. He's the owner of Mike Dean Local Grocer in Ontario's Charlotte Lake. His store has been in business for nearly 50 years, but made some new adjustments because of the tariffs. Gordon, tell me how tariffs are affecting the products on your shelves.
They've been affecting us for the last 3 months since this came about, and as an independent, they started affecting us very, very quickly.
So the tariffs that would affect you are tariffs imposed by Canada on goods coming in from the United States. So I don't know if you can show us
Correct.
there or give us some examples of the impact.
So quick examples would be here in the produce department, some of the leafy greens, lettuces, romaine lettuce, iceberg lettuce, the stuff that Canada in the wintertime for 8 months of the year, we just don't have the capacity to produce. That's where the increases happen pretty quickly.
And give us a sense of the bottom line change, like how much has the price actually gone up?
So it's about that 25%. And as an independent grocer, when those changes happen, we have no choice but to react to them almost the next day, because as a small guy, when the price gets passed along to us, we have no choice but to move it along to the consumer to try and make sure we're still above zero.
Now, again, feel free to show us around if you want, but do you have Canadian products there that aren't affected by the tariffs?
Absolutely. And that's the long picture. In the long run, that's probably one of the good things that's going to come out of this whole tariff exercise. We've increased the number of Canadian products that we sell. We've put a huge focus on our Canadian products. And there's a lot of products that are previously unknown, that customers are picking up brands and picking up options that they never would have thought of. But when they see a big American brand with a higher retail, they're very apt and happy to pick up a smaller Canadian brand and bring it home, give it a try, and they're absolutely rebuying those products.
Yeah, so give me a couple of examples.
Easy example would be something like our apples that typically in the tail end of the season, we are selling a Canadian apple longer than we were typically changing over to the Washington U.S. apple. We're still mostly selling Canadian apples in our stores.
Yeah. And then products that you're importing from places other than the United States wouldn't affect these tariffs. And so I assume that you... Go ahead.
Sorry, it doesn't affect them whatsoever, and that's on the produce department. We have doubled down on our importers that import that for us. They're bringing product in from all corners of the world, which is equal and in many cases actually better than some of the U.S. products we're bringing in. For instance, grapes. Traditionally, we sold a lot of American grapes, and we haven't sold American grapes for 3 months. The quality's been just as good coming in from Namibia or Peru or Chile with just an equivalent good brand of product.
Yeah, so that's amazing. So let's think about that for a sec. So you're bringing in grapes from Namibia?
Yeah, they are. We brought in grapes from Namibia, Peru, Chile, and the quality is just the same. Because of the supply and demand, and because for so long we were dependent on that north-south U.S. to Canada traffic, there's a lot of efficiencies that kept the cost a little bit lower there, but give it some time, and some of these new trade relationships for grocers will end up being better for all of us.
Gordon, I know there's a huge amount of enthusiasm from Canadian customers, at least I heard it in my circles in Vancouver, to buy Canadian and certainly not buy American. That was 6 weeks ago, 2 months ago. Is that enthusiasm still there among your customers?
Absolutely. I don't see any change. It's kind of changed. I backtracked a little. It's changed from enthusiasm and expectation to now it's just a demand. They expect it. It's the deal. It's what they want to see. It's less of a wish or a want, and now it's an expectation.
And
They expect Canadian product.
So in that complicated mix of some things from the United States that have tariffs, some that probably are exempt from tariffs, things that you're importing from other countries, and things from Canada, difficult question, but how much do you think a basket of groceries, like what percentage do you think it's going to cost your customers more when you think of all the things that goes in that basket from various sources?
I'd break it down to two ways. As if the customer shops at independent grocers, grocers that are owned here in Canada, some of the smaller players like ourselves or Canadian companies, because we've always put a big focus on Canadian brands and we've all doubled down on our Canadian brands, it's going to have some effect, 1 or 2%, on us players in the market space, which are very much pro-Canadian on what we sell. If you shop at the big box American stores, the Walmarts and the Costcos, it's absolutely going to go up because their supply chain is linked directly back to the U.S.
All right, interesting. And I'm glad you took the time to explain that to us, Gordon. Thank you so much.
Have a good evening.